Recently, you might have seen that Baluchistan has been in news continuously. Let us try to understand why the Baluchistan Liberation Army has hijacked the Jafar Express, which was in fact passing from the Quetta province in Baluchistan to the Peshawar province. Why this express was hijacked, and why Baluchistan is the next big threat for Pakistan. If you look at the region of Baluchistan, it has been a historical region which is dominated by some tribal groups who mainly follow Sunni Islam. And this Baluch province today is divided between three nations. That is, one is the nation of Iran, the second is the nation of Afghanistan, with the majority of the Baluchi provinces being present in Pakistan. And this region is dominated by the Sunni Baluchi tribes who speak languages like Baluch, Brahmi, and along with Brahmi, they also, some of them speak Pashto, and they are divided, or they are present in the mountainous regions in the region of West Pakistan. And if you observe this Baluchi population, they were always have been part of a princely state. Only in 1947, after the formation of Pakistan, Pakistan has forcefully taken over this princely state and annexed it into the province of Pakistan. And this Baluchistan region has a very low density of population, and it only contributes 3.7% to Pakistan's GDP. But at the same time, the Baluch region is very rich in mineral resources, particularly natural gas, which was found in 1950s. And along with that, there are numerous gold and copper mines in Baluchistan region. And these mines are very important for Pakistan's economic development. But much more importantly, Baluchistan as a region has a huge coastline. And in this coastline, here you can see a small port town, that is the Gwadar port town. And this Gwadar port town has brought Baluchistan into the global footprint. Why it has come into the global footprint, let's try to understand. If you look at this Gwadar port, it is very strategically located, very nearby to this strait which is called as Strait of Hormuz. And because of its strategic significance, and because China wants to escape from the Malacca dilemma, that is Malacca being a choke point, anytime it might be a threat to China's oil supply, that is the reason why it is developing the Gwadar port, and along with Gwadar port, it is making the Gwadar port a very important link to Indian Ocean in its corridor, which is called as CPEC corridor, which passes through the region of Kashgar in China, and it is further connected to Xinjiang province. Then it passes through the Pak-occupied Kashmir, touches upon the Islamabad region, passes through the entirety of Pakistan, and finally reaches to the Gwadar port. And any oil and gas supplies for China are going to be directed from Gwadar, and through the CPEC corridor they are going to reach China. This is one of the strategy which China has adopted in order to overcome the Malacca dilemma. That is, its choke point in Malacca has been avoided by the development of this Gwadar port, and for CPEC corridor, and particularly in the Baluchistan province, China has invested nearly $65 billion. Then over and above this, if you observe this CPEC corridor, it is one of the important part of the Belt and Road Initiative, which has been ambitiously started by the Chinese Premier Xi Jinping. Now, let's try to understand why a project or a region which has been part of a development project or corridor is in fact fighting against the central government. Let's try to analyze. If you look at the Baluchi people, they have historically been part of a separate princely state, and they have a sentiment that Pakistan has illegally occupied their region. That is number one. Second thing is, post-independence also, Pakistan did not make any attempt in order to mainstream the Baluchi population. Even today, Baluchi regions are the most underdeveloped regions of Pakistan, with very low education, very high infant mortality rate, and the government did not in fact invest in the development of the region, and always the Baluchi people have been considered as or treated like the step children. And Pakistan government has always been more in favor of the Punjab and Sindh provinces rather than the province of Baluchistan. Okay, because its government, its military, all of them are dominated by the Punjabis and Sindhis. Most of the development which is occurring in Pakistan, it favored these two provinces, and the Baluchis have always been historically neglected. Then over and above this, Pakistan as a state, if we observe, it has always followed unitary policies. It means that they did not give enough power to the provinces, and from 1970s on, Pakistan deliberately did not give any scope to the Baluchi people in order to establish political governments of their own. There was imposition of Urdu language on the Baluchi people, and under the one unit scheme, the Pakistani government centralized all power within itself. This also led to resistance from the Baluchi population. And the Baluchi resistance was present in 1970s, it was present in 1950s, and it also got reignited in 2000s as the CPEC corridor is being built. Most of the jobs in CPEC corridor were given to the Sindhis and the Punjabis, or otherwise the Chinese engineers, Chinese managers will come to the Baluchi region and dominate the local region. So all of these factors made the Baluchi people angry against the Pakistani government. And one of the important leader of the Baluchi people, by the name of Nawab Akbar Bugti, was killed by the Pakistani government in 2007, and it has conducted numerous military crackdowns in the Baluchi region. In fact, nearly 10,000 people have disappeared in Pakistan, particularly in the Baluchistan region, between 2011 to 2024. According to many human rights watch and NGO organizations, 10,000 civilians being disappeared from Baluchi regions is a very substantial number. And there is also a human rights activist among the Baluchi people by the name of, by the name of Maharang Baloch, who is in fact fighting for the rights of the disappeared people and their family, and her voice has become very intense, and in the last year she has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. She is one of the nominees, and she was fighting for the rights of the disappeared people. Then over and above this, the Baluchi people have also faced a lot of cultural discrimination in Pakistan. They have been, their regions are subject to resource extraction, but they face the problem of economic backwardness, and there also is an element of cultural distinctiveness, and along with that, historical injustice is also something which is felt by the Baluchi people. Because of all these factors, the Baluchi people have continuously resisted, and they in fact fought against the Pakistani government. There have been multiple agencies like Baluchistan Liberation Army, Baluchistan Liberal Front, Baluchistan Republican Army, United Baluch Army. So all of these organizations, they continuously resisted against the Pakistani government. But recently, of late, over the past 2 years, even Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is a very important terrorist organization in Pakistan, which is supported by the Afghan Taliban, is also supporting the Baluchi rebels. Primarily because the Afghanistan Taliban, that is TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, is getting its access into Pakistan through Baluchistan, because of which reason they are supporting the Baluchi rebels, and the TTP has brokered a peace between the various Baluchistan rebel organizations, and today there is a new organization which has been created, that is BRAS, that is Baluch Rajoi Ajoi Sangrah. Sanghar. Baluch Rajoi Ajoi Sanghar is the new organization that has been created as a united Baluchi rebel front in order to fight against Pakistan. And Pakistan has very unfortunately claimed that most of the Baluchi rebel attacks are happening under Indian guidance, because it is accusing India of proxy war, but it did not, or it was not able to prove any of these accusations. And Indian government has very clearly stated that it has no involvement in any of the terror activities which are conducted by Baluchistan rebels. And let's try to understand this. Definitely in Pakistan, if they try to continue their centralization policies, if they treat their own people and provinces in a stepmotherly fashion, then naturally the element of resistance among the people is only get enhanced. And already they are facing problem in Northwest Frontier Province, that is in the region of Peshawar, where the Taliban, that is TTP, are claiming that there is a need to redraw the Durand line and give away the Pashtun provinces to Afghanistan. In Gilgit and Baltistan also there is resistance against Pakistan, primarily because the people of Gilgit and Baltistan also are feeling that their Kashmiri identity is being sidelined, and along with that they are also being exploited by the Pakistan government through construction of CPEC corridor. And now the third major problem is the Baluchistan rebellion. So these three issues are going to create our ticking time bombs in Pakistan, and if they are not handled properly, definitely Pakistan is going to get further disintegrated, and a repeat of the 1971 East Pakistan story is going to happen in Pakistan. Thank you.
కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్ సంబంధించి ప్రత్యేకంగా సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్ ఎగ్జామ్ సంబంధించి ఏ ఆప్షన్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి, ప్రిపరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి, ఏ బుక్స్ రిఫర్ చేయాలి, ఇలాంటి డౌట్స్ ఉంటే CSBIS అకాడమీని కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు. దీనికి సంబంధించి నా పర్సనల్ అపాయింట్మెంట్ ఈ వీడియో పైన డిస్ప్లే అవుతున్న కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్కి ఫోన్ చేసి తీసుకోవచ్చు.